So, what struck you the most? What did you love the most about your character when it came to the whole love concept and not putting too much logic when it comes to think about love?
No, I don't think that it didn't have any logic. In fact, what she says very clearly is because I sacrificed love for what I thought were my duties at that point.
Yeah,
And I realized that I made a mistake because in the 7 days that I spent with that man, it was
yeah,
more than a life.
yeah,
It a lifetime of memories that I collected
yeah,
with me. And the fact that she is able, because she is an extremely sensitive, extremely sensible person. She is an educated person. She's a creative person. She's got all of that in her. And yet, instinctively, she knows that this is the boy for her granddaughter. And she doesn't want her to miss the chance. I can identify with that very clearly because I
yeah,
think it's a question of being romantic in the sense of what we think is romance, which is being wooed by flowers and being given presents and all that. That's not my idea of
yeah,
romance. It's completely different. But I know that when you're younger, you have different expectations of
yeah.
romance and all that. But in the end, it's being in love, which is the most important thing because then it makes you sail through the upheavals of life, not just of marriage, of
Yeah,
any relationship
yeah.
and of life. That if the foundation is love, then it can help you navigate the the path, sometimes together and sometimes separately.
Very true. Speaking of Alia, she's one of the best actresses of our times. There's no doubt about that. But what do you think makes her a very instinctive actress? Like she just knows how to get into it and how to get out of it. What were your observations? Because she has quite the range, and so have you.
One of the things that I noticed about Alia, and in fact, I sent her a message
Yeah.
saying, I want to be on your wrong side. क्योंकि उसको गुस्सा जितना आता है उसकी नाक पे रहता है and when she's you feel she is really angry from
Yeah.
her head. So I said, Mataji, I don't want your wrong side. How can you have so much? But what also surprises me about her, she is an amazing actor,
No.
definitely without.
Yes.
Obviously, there is an emotional richness in her because I've always believed that an artist's resource base must be life itself. You have to experience life in all its various entireties that it offers. For such a young person to
Yeah.
be able to that richness, that I marvel at. She is I don't think she's merely an instinctive actress. But
Okay.
one thing that Zoya told me about her
Yeah.
is that she says Alia gets it. And that's the correct thing, you know. She just gets it. She falls straight into that emotion because she's emotionally rich from within. And so she's at will able to pull out that emotion that is necessary. Now, that actually comes from years of experience and years of riyaz, you know. So, this is obviously a gift that she
That
has.
she
I
has.
remember a little girl, and she was very sure that she was very pretty and she was going to be that for sure. That she's also extremely hardworking. You know,
Yeah.
for somebody top of the game, she doesn't take it for granted at all. She listens to her director. She is very responsive to her co-stars. Everything that makes a person a good actor is what Alia has. Then it's amazing the kind of range. She's been very fortunate that she's got so many different kinds.
Yes. Very true. Yeah.
But you know, one thing that even when the script of Rocky Rani came to me, I said, how is she going to make it believable that she has fallen in love with this man who's so obviously from
Opposite.
the
Yeah.
world?
Yeah.
So in the script, it was just that it was physical attraction,
Yeah.
which I felt was so convincing.
Hmm.
But you know, he subconsciously or otherwise, she's played it with an almost amusement. She's amused.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And almost Julia Roberts quality to
Yes,
it.
yes, yes. Yeah. Talking about Ranveer, there are few scenes where I feel, I know, but I feel like you're not even acting. I feel like you are actually laughing because after seeing Ranveer's antics, and it's becoming very difficult to pretend that no, no, the cameras are rolling.
I really for Ranveer because I think it's a superb performance.
Yeah,
And uh, in that year, some other film, I think it was Animal or something,
yeah,
that got so
yeah.
it went unrecognized. Although it is a very very tough. It's very tough to play a character like that can go overboard and you can and become almost repugnant to
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
That she could have made, but he's a very hardworking actor.
yeah.
He's very
Ranveer is something else.
but that boy who was teaching him the accent was attached to his hip all the time.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
and when there was between the shoots, he would go back and watch the rushes all over again to make sure that he'd got the accent, that he doesn't lose out on the accent. He's a very
Also, with the dance sequence, that was the talk of the town. My goodness, it was a very unexpected thing. No one expected it. It was
you know
crazy.
nobody expected that. Nobody. I remember telling Karan, they can't just suddenly get up and start singing "Abhi Na Jao Chhodkar." You you you're mad. It just
Yeah.
can't be. And he said, I'm convinced it can be Shabana because if I react to it like that,
Hmm.
why shouldn't the audience also react? So when
Yes.
you work, Karan, there is a willing suspension of disbelief that you have to do. I remember the first time, in the very first scene, I've got this long hair and I'm
Yeah.
wearing a
Yeah.
silk blouse and I'm
Yeah. I
cooking.
was going to come to that. Yes.
Karan, no Bengali woman would come with her hair open and wear a silk sari and then cook it. He said, she will do it in my film. I said,
Yeah.
Karan, मुझे सब मार डालेंगे. He
Yeah.
said, नहीं. Then after a while, between him and Manish, I give equal credit to Manish because I had thought of the way that she looks, I had thought of like in a partner sen, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
flexibility. And Manish said it's too expected, and particularly too expected of you. So trust, leave your hair open. Don't put it in a bun. Don't do this. Don't do that. He coaxed
Must have
me.
killed you.
He this thing really between the two of them, and I'm so happy that I surrendered to both of them
Yeah.
because I think an experience which I wouldn't have had
Yeah.
otherwise. And yeah, but I enjoyed working with Karan
Yeah. He
thoroughly.
was something else.
A lot of lightness on the sets. He doesn't treat it like really he is making a masterpiece. He keeps the atmosphere light. He's very warm. He's very generous.
Yeah.
He makes you feel very, very special.
So hard. Apparently, you called him after Kuch Kuch Hota Hai and told him that just because a woman has long hair, she can be loved now. And he was so scared. He's like, okay, ma'am. Coming to another brilliant actor, that is Jaya Bachchan. She has this everyone is scared of her for some reason. But Rocky or Rani, I cannot forget the scene where Dharmendra ji and your character meet. There's that iconic kiss, and she just faints. We have laughed till we cried when we see that scene.
And we were laughing even on the set. And she said, "I'll Ishto Mukherjee into this film. What is Karan making me do?" But that swoon and the way she paints
Yes,
is
correct.
absolutely very, very funny.
Do you think that there's this comedic streak in her that our generation has to discover more of?
Absolutely, absolutely. And Jaya is a very warm person. I know a Jaya who is completely different from the image. that the media has created
Yeah.
of her. She and I, she was the reason I joined the movies. You
Yeah,
know
yeah.
that.
You would put up a post, yes.
It was a diploma film in the institute that I saw called Suman, and I'd never seen acting of that kind. And I said, wow, if there's some place we can learn acting of that kind, then that's where I want to go. And in Abhiman, I must have seen the film at least 2,000 times. And in 2,000 times, on exactly the same spot, I cry every single time. And the film moves me in exactly the same way. It is just, and the little woman comes, when she comes to take her husband back from Bindu's house.
Mm.
Oh my God, the power, the dignity, the quietness. I don't think anybody could have done
You're a fan. Like you're glowing when you're talking about Jaya Bachchan.
it. मैं आपको बता नहीं सकती, और एक जगह में वहां अभिमान वो फूट फूट के रोती है,
Yeah.
मुझे लगा था उसका कलेजा ही निकल आएगा, इट वाज
She was so
जस्ट
convincing. Best, Dharmendra ji is one of the funniest people I know. He's given this quote. He's told Ranveer, ki Ranveer, you have so many kissing scenes in Rocky or Rani. I did one and I stole the show. It went it went viral. I
such a small peck.
blew out of proportion.
Such a big thing, the central thing of the film. I said, but then it tickles people, or God knows what happened. I mean, it was done, it was over in a second. In fact, what was funny was all the reactions of the family, and then Jaya. That's what made the scene actually done on the set. And then Karan, every time I would walk into a set, I said, Karan, I could get 5 films made in just the money that you have spent on this set. Karan! I used to always scream at him, my God. But he, he, his partners say that he's not a very savvy producer because he loves, and then he wants to give it his everything.
Everything.
Then वो कान में बोलते रहते हैं, ओ बजट रंजन, उसको चाहिए, वो उसको चाहिए. So that kind of passion is absolutely lovely. It's just absolutely lovely.
Were you ever offered other films by him? Why did it take 25 years for him to finally direct the Shabana Azmi?
He had, he's always called me up after many performances of mine, which is liked, and said that I cried and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Then he had offered me a part which was a guest appearance. I don't want to say which one it was because I don't want to take the credit away from the actor who did it. But at that time, I was offered Gurinder Chadda's film where mine was the main part. So I told him, so he said, no, Shabana, as much as I want you, I wouldn't take that away from you because that is your central film. So said, nahi, aap kar lo wo. So it's just been that kind of relationship. I've seen Karan coming to my house as a chubby little boy because he would carry something from his dad because Javed Sir was working a lot with Yash Johar ji.
Yeah.
So he would be coming and going and all that. So I was aware of this boy, and he was also very good friends with Zoya and Farhan and all these people also.
Tell me, who is the wittiest in your family? Because Javed Akhtar's interviews we watch on repeat. Is he the wittiest, or there's competition in the family when it comes to witty comebacks?
You know, Farhan is very witty and
Yeah.
very, very funny. But Farhan takes time to open up. He's as outgoing as Javed is. And Javed, I must say, I mean, it's legendary. His wit is legendary, but I mean, it's there for so long. We've been married 40 years, and the first thing that I was attracted to was his intelligence and his wit. And he's really quick on the uptake. I think that part of him, Farhan, has definitely
Taken.
inherited. Yeah, Farhan also makes me laugh constantly. He's 4/7 and he's very quick on the uptake. Also, he's
Zoya
very
is
fun.
comparatively quieter when it comes, like she will lose in competition with the two of them.
Not at all quiet. Quiet and completely cannot be used synonyms at all, please. Zoya is all there. I remember once she was saying, that director, I mean, he's just so crass, he's so fun. I just so fun. Exactly saying, but
Yeah.
Zoya, nobody is disagreeing with you, so why are you wasting so much energy? हम सब अग्री कर रहे हैं आपको इतनी एनर्जी लगा कि क्यों बोलना कि वो इतना क्रैश है और इतना ऐसा
Very
है तो
expressive.
but Zoya and I are very similar like that because I also tend to, although I have I mellowed a lot, but otherwise I was also out there. I had to say what I think I'm much calmer now. I think that's
That's
it.
Jaya Bachchan and you must have had a crazy time on set bonding because she's also like, if I have to say, I'll say it. You say whatever you want.
The thing is, we are very sad that we have very few. We had literally two scenes with
Yeah,
each other. So
yeah, very
we
less.
we'll do more work together. She's also very funny. She's very funny.
What is this generation missing out on when a Shobitra Chatterjee and Satyajit Ray is no longer there?
You know that we are those Renaissance men that you don't see anymore. And लोग जिसको आप लोग बोलते हैं ना, they're gentlemen to the core. Now, Shamikita was a far more approachable person. It's very interesting because one film, in a French film that I did with him, he played my husband.
Yeah,
In a
yes,
film, Sen, he played my father. So we
yeah.
played all kinds of things together. And I've been with him in France when I cannot tell you the kind of frenzy that he attracted in France. Apu, they'd all go and get completely mad. Manikta was much more reserved, but he and I had quite an interesting relationship because he would call me after he saw a film of mine, and then he would tell me he liked this, he didn't like that, all that. But he needn't have done that, but
Yeah.
he used to do that with me. I really wished I had an opportunity to work with him much more than I did because I just did 3 days of work and yet it keeps getting talked about the world over.
That's why you're like friends with Farhan and Zoya too. They can just come to you with anything and you're just friends.
Yes, absolute friends, and they've been that for a very long time. You know, I'll tell you something in how Zoya and Farhan have contributed to the film Fire. When
Yeah.
they were so young when I
Yes.
was on Fire, and I remember that I liked the script very much, but I was working in the slums with these women, and I thought, that it would be used against me and all that. And so Javed said, "Listen, do you like the script?" I said, "Yes, I do." He said, "Do you think she will not sensationalize it?" I said, "I'm absolutely certain." So he said, "Then you should do it." But I was still hesitant. And then I told Zoya, there's this script I've got, and I'm really very tempted to do it. But she said, "What's the but?" So I said, it's a same sex relationship. So she said, "So,
Mm.
God, that for me, what seemed like a central concern is just so natural for people of that age
Great.
that I straight from it." But then this Farhan, even younger, read the script and he told me he liked the script very much. But he said, in the end, my character actually uh, dies in the fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
He said, but that would defeat the whole purpose of this script
Mm.
because she can't die. Because if she dies, then what is the message that you're saying to society? You're saying that, all right, desire is a bad
Bad thing.
thing.
Yeah.
Then, no, she should not die. And then I discussed it with Deepa, and Deepa thought about it, and that's how the end evolved into both these women running away and starting their own
New life. Yeah.
business. छोटे थे, सोचो, and yet they have.
Very,
contributed.
yeah.
Yes.
I know. I just watched the movie yesterday and then I read the interviews. That interesting because for someone that young to give advice to someone like you, it's
It just comes so naturally because we talk films a lot, but actually we only talk food. That now what's for lunch, and you have what's for tea, and when you have and what's for dinner? Oh no, nothing. We are just going to have soup for dinner. Yeah, and then they spread, and everybody eats everything. Then now we are on a holiday.
well, a family who eats together stays together. Let's keep it at that. Do you think we should think of dream of a Rocky and Rani 2, or we should leave it at the sweet ending
No,
that they faced? Leave it, no?
I probably find something else. To my mind, that's Karan's mojo. I think Karan, because he is such a mainstream director,
Yeah.
he should keep the mainstream uh, format because he understands it so well with the songs and stuff like that. But then touch upon some social issue.
Hmm.
Here it's women equality, and
Yes.
that's what in your face like that it just comes through one of the characters. So I
Yeah.
think that if he would do that as his stamp, it would serve him very well. This is what I feel about him because I really think that that's his mojo. Because we must have songs, and we must have songs in which people are lip syncing. That's the way we've been telling our stories, whether it is our Ram Leelas, whether it's our Parsi theatre. We have always used songs as a way of telling the story. Now, suddenly we want to become all westernized, and so now you're going to just have this loud music, and nobody will ever say, I just recently saw that life in a metro,
Yes.
Abhi or whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
and I
Metro
that
India.
the were used so innovatively and so refreshingly. I just absolutely love the way they were used. So you can use songs in a different way. They don't have
Yeah.
to be running, but songs are intrinsic. Film lyrics are intrinsic. All our memories of films that we've loved in the past has mainly got to do with the songs.
Yeah.
So
Right. It's
please, please bring the songs back.